Hello, I'm Joe Paiva, and this is the team from the University of Florida that has participated in the 2024 NSPS student competition. Today is Tuesday of the competition, so they finished up today, and we are having a little bit of a discussion on the experiences. So let me start by asking you how you prepared. How did you know what to do, and how did you actually get that done before you came here?
We practiced, and two of our students had previous experience last year, and so we brought them to sort of be team leaders. And then we had practice sessions out in the Florida North Lawn, and we practiced out there using the old T2s and all the equipment that we had collected over the years and got experience with it through there and practice for this event.
So does this mean you actually practiced with T2 type instruments, a compass, a chain, and dumpy levels?
Yes, it does. So we spent about over the course of 3 weeks practicing with similar equipment types just so we were better prepared to set up and know what to expect today.
So is that about when you started 3 weeks ago?
Yes. So we had a little bit of practice about like a month out. But it's like weekly, so that way we don't get overly exhausted, but at the same time, gradually preparing ourselves to better prepare for the competition.
Now, I noticed from going around from team to team that depending on the exercise, there was anywhere from some to quite a bit of calculation that had to be done. How did you prepare for that? Did you already know what you were going to be doing?
We had practice many times. Right after we did our practice with equipment, we take it back into our office so we can do practice with the calculations.
And this was timed, right? So you had to be able to do the calculations pretty fast too. So does this mean you already had kind of a template for how you were going to do the calculations?
Yeah, so we definitely, when we were practicing, we were keeping in mind the time and trying to keep it within that hour limit that they gave us. So yeah, time was definitely a factor.
So how many of you are newbies, and how many of you have been here before for the competition? Which three? Two. Okay. And everybody else are newbies. So, so being an experienced person, how do you think the newbies did?
I think they did great. I think we did a little bit, like we said, we had people before who had came, and now we had a little experience. So I think they benefited knowing kind of what they're getting themselves into, and I think all of them performed excellent.
So on this team, who would be considered to be the head honcho, the party chief, the team leader, or whatever? The one person who cracks the whip.
You could put that on me, that title on me, sure.
Do you agree he's the boss?
I think so. Yeah, he's the one that has coordinated a lot of our practice sessions and everything, and so I think he's definitely the leader.
So does he crack the whip in a good way or a bad way?
I'd say mostly a good way. He's a really good leader. I've had no bad experiences or anything. He cares about the team, so you know.
So when you go back to Gainesville, you're not planning on tossing him in the lake and hoping the alligators find him. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you, this was a new experience for many of you in many different ways. So you traveled to Washington, so you came a fairly decent distance. You're on the mall. You meet other students who are in the surveying. You probably met some surveying professionals and other teachers. So you've had many experiences. You went on the scavenger hunt, and that was completely different from the competition day where you were doing the exercises. So let me end up by asking, what was the most memorable part for each of you? Probably different. What was the most memorable part that you would say you will take back with you?
I would say like getting to learn hands-on on like what the surveyors before then actually use. Like it was very like informative. Like I'd never had any experience beforehand. It gives you greater appreciation what my career has before me.
I would say that I have been in like many student competition before, but this one specifically is very different just because everybody have a different dynamic and personality and they have their own strength and we play to that. Well, I would say that whenever we make mistake, we kind of laughed it off and we try and we were persistent in understanding where our mistake and stuff, and we're just not like cutthroat and being upset and whatnot like much of my other competitions were. So I would say like this team and overall experience have been wonderful because it shows like what a survey community should be.
So I'll be graduating here in 2 3 weeks. So just to spend time with my classmates here to kind of close out my college career has been a great experience. Great weather, beautiful city. I can't complain.
Yeah, something that was super memorable, probably scavenger hunt. I mean, we had our representative, shout out to Chase, running up and down hills with us, talking about cracking the whip, like, let's go. So that was definitely something really fun. And we got to see a lot of the city, which was really cool. Yeah.
I think both exploring the city, but also exploring the individuals that come to this conference, learning about them and their past and what they've learned from and sort of their mistakes and how they've learned from those mistakes and built themselves to be better people and better industry professionals.
I think just coming to Washington and being able to survey using old equipment in such a cool place like on the National Mall is really memorable, and being able to see all the other groups do the same thing as us, it makes me feel like I'm part of a community almost, which I really enjoyed.
Well, thank you all for doing this interview. I know it wasn't the easiest thing to make it here because you had other activities and you had to rush off the metro to get here. So I appreciate you doing your darndest to be here so we could get this interview in. I think there will be many people in Florida who will appreciate seeing this at some point. And I want to wish you all the best on your career, no matter where you are, because I think for you, the surveying competition, I think, will be kind of a milestone in your career development. And finally, safe travels home.